Hey guys, welcome to the finale of the Farlander Patron server, Season 1. This is exciting. I was originally going to do this sort of like attached to the server tour, but that was too long. It was like 4 hours. No one's going to watch a 4-hour video, let alone a 4-hour, I don't know, 4.5 hour video. I don't know how long this is going to be. Speaking of the server tour, I think there's talks of there being a part 2, but just a heads up, I'm probably not going to be uploading a part 2 just because I don't really think anyone's going to watch it. I might stream. I'm not even sure if I'm going to attend it, but if I do attend it, I might stream it instead and just highlight the video on Twitch. I don't really know. And I have a lot of things I want to say today. So I've actually taken quite a few notes to make sure I don't miss anything. So the pacing of this episode might be a bit weird because I might just keep on looking over to my other monitor, making sure I'm talking about everything I want to say. But to start off with, we're going to pretty much just go around all of my old builds, some concluding thoughts about the server before the reset. This is probably going to be like the last time I even log on before. But here we are at what was supposed to be my village. Obviously, it's not a very good village, it's just a cabin that's filled with potion supplies now. Yeah, I wanted to have a proper village thing like how TDW and Rat have, because that seems like a fun project, but it just doesn't seem like... It's not really my thing to be able to build in one style consistently, like you need to be able to do for a village. So like, I had this idea of this like sort of Nordic Viking theme in the Mega Taiga, and I built one house and it took me like, you know, a whole episode pretty much to do it. And I don't really know how to do this again, except for building this exact thing again. So, I don't know, I might... Because I want to be able to build a village, I don't know how. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do something similar on the next server, or I might just stick to my one-off builds, like I do for now. Yeah, this is filled with potions. I was originally going to... I actually had... On my creative world, I was like trying to build a winery sort of thing that I could put all my potion supplies in, both from this and from my other winter fortress. But I never could get that to a place where I really liked, so... And I never really come out here anyway, so I don't really care that it's filled with potions. But yeah, this is... Cinnabux's Lakeside Village, hopefully. Not hopefully, it's not gonna happen. We just have one cabin. Although I do like how that cabin looks, especially from over here. It is nice. But let's head over. I think probably we'll do the winter fortress thing next. Alright, here we are at the winter fortress / potion storage facility. This is something that I've always wanted to do, pretty much as soon as acacia logs came out, and I realized how they go with stone colors when you can't see the ends of them. I've always wanted to build a build like this. I just sort of never could. I had, in my creative world, I had tried literally years. I'd been trying to build something like this, and I finally made something that I sort of like. I actually really am pretty proud of how this came out. One thing, I like how that looks like ice. I don't know if that was sort of an accident. Geocache here. Kurt Secrets. That was sort of an accident that ended up looking like ice, but I'm happy about that. We have these 4 buildings over here. Each one has a different color, so you have white, light gray, gray, and black. Originally, they're going to have full interiors. This was after like the World of Color update came out, where you got like, you know, terracotta and not glazed terracotta, and then you got beds of all the colors and stuff like that. I wanted to like furnish each, like the gray one would be with the gray beds and the gray floors and stuff like that, and so on and so forth, but I never ended up doing that, so it's just filled with potion supplies. I really like these little bridges over the walkway with the iron bars. I'm really happy about that. I never even made like a proper staircase to get up here, which is something I really should have done, but I'm not too great with interiors, so I just never did. Besides that, I never even put a place for the portal, it's just in the middle of the house. It's my potion storage, I have that one brewing stand left. I think where are we? Underneath this is where I have Yeah. Oh, that was the wrong block. I shouldn't have broken that block. Underneath here, there we go, is where we have the giant hole where I got all of the stone for TDW's prank, the dropper prank. Ooh, there's some experience. That's weird. Don't know how that never despawned. But yeah, this was a lot of stone. Also, where like most of my current diamonds came from was this hole. But that was sort of by accident. But yeah, this is one of my... It's a very weird build because, like, as much as I'm very proud of how it came out, I never really spent time here because I really like staying around Spawn Town. And this is, while it's close to Spawn Town compared to, like, my cabin village thing, it's still not that close to Spawn Town. So even, like, when Typhoon and TDW pranked me with the potions, I didn't even bother to check if this place was pranked. I just sort of checked my houses around Spawn, and they were pretty much empty, so I was just messaging them saying, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I have this little snow gradient thing, which I like. It takes a lot of effort, but I think it looks nice, but like it's not really possible to do it all the way up, which is why I tried to cheat with this, but I even got bored of that. So I'd never spend time here anyway. I don't know, it's just sort of like a nice monument to... I don't really know. This is one of those builds that I just do for decoration. It's not really practical at all. I'd never live in there. But it's still nice, I think. But yeah, let's head over to Spawn Town. So in Spawn Town, this is where most of my builds are. It's just, I really like I've played single player for, you know, a decade. Not a decade, whatever, 8 years. It's the reason I'm playing on a multiplayer server is for the multiplayer, so I want to be in the community. I don't want to be off by myself, which is why I ended up just always staying around Spawn Town. This is not well lit at the surface. I don't really care there. Actually, here, let's try and fix that. Oh, I don't want to put torches. Yeah, we have glowstone underneath that, but it doesn't light up the whole thing. We originally tried to put string down here, but that apparently doesn't work. I thought that did. But yeah, this is the detective's office. The detective's office of me and nobody else. So yeah, so after TDW started the whole rat pranking investigation thing, he interviewed me first, and I was like actually pretty into it. I was sort of happy that the sort of B-team role-playing thing was coming to the server. So I was like, hey, why don't I join? I sort of like just inserted myself into his storyline, but he didn't seem to mind, and I had a lot of fun. And I was actually, like, I had no idea that TDW was the rat the whole time, so, I don't know. I had, like, a suspicion. My suspicions were probably, I think I suspected Yames first, Shadow was my second suspect, and TDW was probably my third. So, he was, like, on the list, but he wasn't my top choice for who I thought the rat was. But the Noir storyline, like, the episodes, both mine and TDW's Noir episodes are probably some of my favorite on the server. Oh, one thing I mentioned to TDW was I thought that, like, if the rat pranker was gonna prank I thought the rat pranker was gonna prank us, like, on this thing. TDW left a sign, over here. He removed it later, but he left a sign that said cheese. But I thought he was gonna do, like, a full rat den over here, and if I were the rat, I would have taken out these two stairs and put a ladder going down, and then hidden it. But I sort of assumed after I said that he would do it, but he never did. But whatever. Yeah, we had this little, I don't know, meeting area. Actually, why don't we go into resource packs? Let's go into the right resource pack for this. Hello? I don't get it. This takes too long. Yeah. So you have this little, you know, meeting area / sitting room, which I thought, this is where I was telling TW we should have, like, the final reveal is around this table, but obviously he wanted to do the drop thing, so whatever. Over here we have a window, and then detectives thing with stall. That's not playing for some reason. Okay. You have a light, and then their little room, which is actually, like, the window is over there from the outside. it looks like you have a window on the upper floor, but it's actually just covered by the nether brick of the interrogation room. But yeah, I like how that came out. Like, it is a very chaotic building from the outside. I sort of, where was it? Specs. I sort of like over detailed the bricks almost, but without that it would just be a solid slab of brick. But I think it still looks nice as like an old-timey detectives building. I think it would look the best if it was like in an actual like old-fashioned town, like with a building directly adjacent over here and over here. And then this could be like on the corners with a street going around like that. I think that was what it was sort of meant to be, but it's still pretty good on itself, by itself, I think. Except for obviously like the back of this is super plain, but nobody even sees it, so I don't really care. But next, let's go over to the museum. Where's the museum? There's the museum. I'm on top. So the museum, I actually helped out with Rat, Shadow, and Typhoon. We built the 3116-936 monument. I think that's the right number. Over here. I actually, like, this was after I started recording, but I couldn't record it because we were trying to, like, sort of surprise Kurt with it. Because Kurt was all like, oh, you know, no one would ever replicate this. So we were trying to say, like, suck it, Kurt. We did. Typhoon did a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the exact placement of blocks. I helped out. He did like all the exact placement of all the tree stuff was all Typhoon pretty much. The grass, I helped out a bit, going frame by frame through his videos, and especially that tree was a pretty big pain to try and build. I'm actually not sure if we ended up. I'm not sure if we ended up replicating the tree. Or we might have just like grown a big tree and called it a day. I don't remember. But there was a tree over here and that was sort of annoying to do. All the leaves up there were me. So Typhoon had replicated them on his like Realm server. And I actually used the Schematica mod to sort of copy the outline over here so I could just... it would tell me exactly where to place which block. And then these 4 areas were... I'm sort of, like, we had a lot of arguments about how to do these areas. I think Shadow did this one. And I was like, do fire, void, air, and then earth in the middle. We had a lot of arguments about what we should do. But I did the fire one. I like how this one came out. This one I did as well, but we had a lot of arguments about how to do the back. I actually wanted to do originally all black concrete around the black to sort of emulate, like, what the end looks like. But we ended up settling on this to look, I don't know, it's like a window into the end, I guess. And this one was all rat, I believe, which was like, it's definitely a hard task trying to represent air, but I think she did the best that you really can do with the sort of cloud aesthetic. Yeah. Next, we're gonna go right back, because I didn't plan this right. I even have the notes in front of me, and I still didn't plan it right. We're gonna head over to the lighthouse, which is there-ish. Yes, the lighthouse. The lighthouse is honestly like I built this in 3 or 4 other worlds, both single player and multiplayer. Just because I built it once and I really liked it, so now I just build it all the time. And it's pretty simple to do, and it sort of goes everywhere. It's called the anatomically correct lighthouse because Shadow has his ginormous lighthouse across the bay. So this is sort of what a lighthouse actually looks like. Over here you have the rotating light, which I'm very proud of having a rotating light in this compacted space that actually works. For those of you that don't know, it's just... yeah, there's just detector rails angled at the right angle, and minecart will go around forever. Can I put this back? I can't even put this back, can I? I shouldn't have broken that. Well, crap. What do I do? There we go. Yeah, you can see a nice view of all the stuff from here. It's pretty basic. There's never been an interior in this ever, because I never really know what to put in there. So I think I mentioned this in like my first episode. I have two types of builds. I have the builds that are practical, and I have the builds that are aesthetic, and they don't really overlap. So my practical builds are entirely practical. My aesthetic builds are entirely aesthetic. Even the stuff I have in here is always empty. This is just what I set up when I was building it. But yeah, this was I wouldn't be surprised if I build this in the next world, you know, because there has to always be a lighthouse. But moving on in to sort of the main base. You can see out here, this is the fridge. This was when I was pranking TDW with filling up his ocean. I gathered a crap ton of ice, and I didn't use most of it. So all of the leftover ice is over here. I think that was probably too expensive, 1 diamond for a stack. This was actually all me. I was short 12 stacks, so I just pretended like somebody bought 12 stacks. But yeah, I don't really care. The server's resetting anyway. This was the best. This was supposed to be a fridge. I think it's sort of okay. There's definitely, and apparently in 1.13, like, levers that are on emit redstone particles, so this will look like really weird. But yeah, I think this is okay-ish. And we can head here, over here to the house. First thing you'll notice, I don't think this was ever really shown in video besides on the server tour, but I've turned DJ's UFO into something more UFO-y, I guess. I don't really know. I had a fence up there and a cow dangling from a lead, but the cow died. I know that leads are buggy when you do that, but I sort of assumed that because there's like, I don't know, 30 blocks beneath the cow that he wouldn't die. But too bad, so sad. Before we go there though, we have the mob farm and the reed farm. The mob farm, this is like an augmented version of Ethos design. It's not like, it's an odd number or something, or I don't remember why. But it's not quite Ethos design, it's slightly different. Can I get up there? So originally this was supposed to be, yeah, I have this little sign on top. Originally this was supposed to be a creeper farm, so for Christmas, Xavier allowed us all to ask for Christmas presents and he'd spawn them in. And we realized that we could ask for like cheaty things and he'd still give them to us. So I asked for 48 creeper spawners, or 64 creeper spawners or something like that. And I ended up with 64 gunpowder or something instead. But because I asked for 64 creeper spawners, I built like a sort of cube thing that I could place them all in, and I could stand in the middle and activate all of them, and they'd all drop down and die. And I was going to combine that with my reed farm over here and make a fireworks shop, and it just wouldn't even sell the fireworks. I'd give them out for free, and it would all be fun, and because everyone always needs fireworks. But that never happened, so I converted it into just a regular mob farm, which I still get a lot of gunpowder from, but not enough to make a free fireworks shop. So I was considering actually making a paid fireworks shop, but then I couldn't even decide on how to do pricing and stuff like that, and I just gave up on that endeavor. But which brings me to my reed farm, which again, it actually says no public access because I wanted to charge people for paper for the fireworks, and I didn't want people just coming in and taking paper when they need to. A lot of people talk about this for really the only reason is its shape. It's really noticeable from the overviewer map or when you're flying that it is quite phallic in nature. Honestly, honest to God, this is unintentional. I actually, I may have massaged it a tiny bit. I moved this thing out 1 block to make a little ridge over here, which makes it look even more phallic. But besides that, this was actually unintentional. I needed like a long thing to fit all the reed farm into, and then I had these 2 areas where I put the chests in. And then at the end, I could have made this flat, but it felt claustrophobic, so I made it round instead. And then afterwards, I took a look back and said, wait a second, that doesn't look right. It was actually unintentional, I swear. But I just, I realized it halfway through, and I was just like, might as well roll with it. It's pretty funny. What else I want to say? Yeah, I think that's about it. Redstone is pretty basic. You have detector. I don't even. I think the detectors are underneath that, and that, and whenever any of them fire, it fires all the pistons. No, it fires. Yeah, there's four pistons. Yeah, four pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, connected with slime blocks, and then it shoots off these hoppers, which collect the drops, and then the stuff that falls into the middle where the water is, it goes into this hopper chain. It all funnels down over here. And then I've only actually ever gotten... I have this much paper, plus I had an additional full double chest, which I turned into bookshelves, and I was breaking TDW the first time. Yeah, it's the reed farm, and then moving over to the full house. This house is really the only way I know how to build, like, an above-ground starter home, when all you have at the beginning is... you know, planks, wood, and like maybe some stone and andesite and stuff like that. This is whenever I build my starter home above ground, it looks something like this, with these plank supports, and then it goes out one block, and then it goes more. Really, the only thing that changes is like the shape, because this is like an L. Sometimes it's not always an L, and the color palette. I think what I might do next time is start with a smaller place, and then like start with like a small underground just hidey hole, and then build a full place, because this is not really big enough for me. I was like overflowing down into here, all of these chests, and like these were starting to fill up. Like I ran out of room for diorite. So these are my overflow chests that are full. These are starting to fill up. Yeah, so this house is really not big enough for me for a full server, so I think I might start with an even smaller house to begin with, but then immediately move into a larger one. And then up here, I guess, I don't know, look at my gear. Like, I have books, this is my mob drops, all my gunpowder, over there and over there. I was going to, so I have all this TNT, and obviously the fireworks, and then I also have the Wither Skull and Soul Sand and stuff. So like when Rat left, I sort of like I wanted to go through with her vision of the final Wither fight, as well as blowing up her village, but I don't know, everyone else seemed to be against that, so I never really could pull that off. Sorry, Rat, I tried. I don't know, but like I have all of TDW gave me all of his diamonds, so I have a lot of diamonds now, which will all disappear when we reset. We have, this is my backup gear over here. I really like my naming scheme. Like, this is all sort of like Greek gods and stuff like that, and then my current one is, no, these are Roman gods, and my current one is Greek gods, I think. But yeah, like, and they're all like sort of based on, oh, and yeah, so we have Fs for, like, alliterating Fs, I guess, for this armor, and then if we move over here. Why is that so quiet? Oh, okay. And then these are, yeah, alliterating S's. So I like my naming scheme. I don't know. I was happy about that. I am very sad still about my broken, what's it, Taichi? My fortune pick that broke when I was pranking TDW. I'm very sad about that. I'll always be very sad about that. I blame TDW for it. Then we have Ender Pearls. That's backup Ender Pearls. This is my main Ender Pearl chest. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm really showing off here. We have Dried Concher's base right next to. Yeah, this is, like, Dried Concher built his base after I'd already been here for a few months. So originally I only had this walkway over here, and then this was all just like a hill over here. This walkway above wasn't there, and we went back behind here. But Dried Concher built this place, and I spent some time trying to connect our things. So we have this path that goes all the way around, and we have a staircase that goes up, and we have added this new entrance, which is now sort of my main entrance in. But I'm really happy about how our base is tied together. We even have, from over here, there's this path area, which is all new. This whole thing is new. I built, This rail line goes underneath. I really like how it goes through this, even though like the minecart slows down a lot in these like 5 blocks. I don't know why, but I like how that looks. I did that. And it goes underneath the bridge, which I'll show you later. I want that. But yeah, and it even goes, if we, yeah, here. I think Dread Contra did this bit. But then it goes down here, it goes over there and through, and then down here, and it connects over here, which I don't know. I really like this area, the sort of like alcove bit. This is just like a nice place. And then down here to my mines. I really enjoy the color scheme of these mines. I really like the hidden prismarine, like not the prismarine block, just the raw prismarine, the color changing one. Is one of my favorite blocks. So I really like how this looks, especially like the hidden prismarine. Down here is my main speed mining area. I used to have beacons that ran up here until I finished sort of speed mining this whole area out. I took those beacons out. This is where, this used to be overflow storage. Yeah, this used to be where I kept all my stone and stuff until I moved it all up to my house. So these are all empty. This is where my mob farm goes. I guess I'll bring this up. Yeah, you can see the mob farm. So the mob farm just goes, it falls down in the beacon hole that I had already excavated. And then, yeah, this is a lot of mining pretty much. I didn't really do it that neatly. I didn't really get that much stuff because once you have like a couple stacks of diamond, you don't really need anymore, right? Going up here again, we have on our left the rat den that TDW left us, which I was tempted to take out. He left us all the things that we need to fill this back in, but I sort of like it. It's sort of like a memory, right? I don't know. I don't see any reason to take that out. I think it's nice to leave it there. Let's quickly drop all these mob drops off before I forget. This chest, yeah. Yeah, I don't really think there's that much more to show you in here, at least. This is my overflow chest when I was pranking TW with all the cows. I got a bunch of wood, and I was cutting. I got a bunch of. What the? Go away. Is this dark? This is dark. I never knew this was dark. That isn't supposed to be dark. Yeah, I was killing all the cows. I got all the steak, and then while I was doing that, while I was waiting for the cows to like reset their breed timer, I was cutting down spruce trees, so I have a lot of spruce wood. From there, we'll head over to actually just this area, I think. Yeah, so we have the Stillwater Bridge. It's so Dried Contract actually built up until like this point or something like that, and I just sort of finished it for him because I wanted a bridge as well, and I was bored. Most of this design was Dread Contras. I just sort of continued it. I really like when it goes over the river, the rail line actually goes like underneath the bridge. That's something that I think it was like in LA, and well, I found this out through GTA 5, but in LA there's an area where like there's a train line that goes underneath the streets, and there's like a little grate at the street level, so you can see down and you can see the trains going through. And I really like that aesthetic, so I sort of try to replicate that, where you have the grates look and you can see the train line going underneath. Which brings us over here to the stables and stuff. This was mostly because I had so many horses next to my house. I wanted to sort of organize them. I wanted to sort of make a super horse. So we have, let's see if I can find it. I think Mr. Skeletor is Steelens or something, I don't really know. So these two iron horses, they're both relatively fast and relatively, I think like this one's a good jumper. I don't actually remember. So yeah, this one's fast and a good jumper, and this one's like strong and a good jumper or something like that. So I kept on trying to breed them to get the fastest horse possible, which would be a 6. But all of these that I kept on, like, those two horses, the gold ones are 7s, I think. And all the ones I bred were either 7s or 8s. I never got a 6. So, yeah, whatever. I sort of ran out of time. And this gold one is the one that I usually use. If I ever need a horse, he's just a good all-rounder. Yeah, the horse timer itself is nothing too fancy. I'm very proud, not really, the redstone itself is pretty simple, but just how compact it is. I'm proud, like, I don't know, it looks nice. That's why I have it in a display case. And yeah, just this whole area is very polished with this wall that goes around. This isn't really much, I'm just sort of happy about how it came out. Which leads us to, oh, I'm going the wrong way. The last thing over here is the clock tower. Oh, the clock tower. I love this build so much. It is by far my favorite thing that I've ever built. It's not just the clock tower itself. The clock tower itself is pretty nice, especially on the 1.13 textures. But the whole plaza area down here, it's just, I am so proud of this area. It makes me happy. I don't know. It's so serene. If I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if I rebuild this on the next server just because I love it so much. Don't be surprised. It's, yeah, there's a bit of a secret. Let's see if I can find it. If I go down here. Yeah, this is Junebug's house. So somebody had a house over here, and it's actually not a, I think this side, I don't remember which side to go to. It's a pretty well detailed house. So I was sort of felt bad that I was covering it up, but Junebug hasn't been active on the server for forever. Like, I looked through Discord and she I don't think she's ever posted. And I messaged her and she never replied, so I just sort of went with it. Can I get out of here without, there we go. Yeah, it's mostly hollow underneath, although underneath the clock tower itself I have solid, I think, brick or diorite or something like that. Because, I don't know, I wanted a foundation, I didn't want it to be floating on air. But going into here, yeah, you have a map of the area, you can see Penis house, mob farm, actual farm. Oh, I never got the UFO in there. Let's see if I can get the UFO in there. Just real quick. It just needs to be there, you know. It's Ender Pearl. Yeah, there's the UFO. Cool. Okay, that map should be fully updated now. Bam. Yeah, so we have all of our stuff, really. The detective shop is just off up there. Over here we have the service entrance. That chest is empty. This is where I had all my stuff when I was building it. Over here we have these lights. It's a bit weird. Okay, so yeah, all these are empty. These lights are to make sure that the light emanates from these windows during nighttime. So it's actually, it's like this so that when you're in the ladder area, you can't see this light, but it's like it just looks black, but it still emanates through the windows that are behind there. So it's a bit strange, but it works. All these floors are empty. I never put anything there. Again, the whole like aesthetic versus practicality. I never do both. This elevator shaft was originally supposed to be like an actual working piston elevator, but I was lazy. This is what I was talking about, the lights. So if you can tell, there's 3 blocks here. This middle block, it's missing over there because it goes to where that light is, but you just can't see it at all, no matter what angle you're at. Which I think, it's a nice illusion at least, and it lights up the elevator, the ladder, so it's not completely black. At the top here, we have the note blocks. I'm very happy with how the note blocks came out, but if I rebuild it, it might not be the same tune, I think. I might change the tune up just to be different. But yeah, the note blocks are quite nice. We have the note block control over here, and then the aesthetic note blocks are up there. That's like, so this is supposed to be like, I'm not sure if you know what the carillon where you play the bells. Like, it's sort of like a piano, but when you hit the keys, it like rings the bells. So it's supposed to be like that's where the carillon is, and then these are like the strings that attach it to the bells up there, and then those bells are the ones that are supposed to ring, supposed to in quotes. But yeah, and then up here, somebody didn't close my trap door. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So talking about the next server, I don't really, like, so one thing is I haven't really kept up with the snapshots or anything at all, so I know generally what's in the new version, but I don't know the specifics of anything. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like that and sort of experience it as I experience it. Because one of my best experiences in Minecraft was when beta 1.4 came out. I had no idea what to expect at all, besides the fact that there were wolves. So just exploring the new update and trying to find out everything that was new in that was some of the most fun I've ever had. And the whole like changelog thing has sort of ruined that fun. So I guess the fact that I don't actually know what the changes are this time is good. Besides that, what else? Just looking over at my notes. Oh yes, so next server, there's two builds that I sort of have in mind. One is sort of a pirate ship build, just because it's the aquatic update, and with the whole waterlogged blocks thing, I think you can actually make a pirate ship build that looks quite nice. So I might try something like a pirate ship, or I might try another option is a large building, probably around the size of like the observatory, maybe a bit bigger, but in the style of this clock tower. I'm also planning on helping out with a new spawn whenever, like building the new spawn whenever Xavier starts on that. Also, just for posterity, I want to go through this. I think I might be the only person on the server that is 100% in all the achievements, including, obviously the hidden one. How did we get here? I'm pretty sure there was only one mansion on the map, which meant that there was only 2 of the evokers. So only me and Yames ever killed the evokers. Only me and Yames could have gotten this, unless they used like the cheaty, they had spawn eggs or something for evokers, which is possible. I don't really know. But I know Yames hasn't finished this achievement yet for the rest of the mobs, so I think I might be the only person that finished that. Besides that, statistics, obviously, where is it? Number of deaths, 0. Still got that. Suck at TW, you didn't kill me. Yeah, I've walked a lot, I've sprinted a lot, I've flown a lot, I've elytred even more. Here's it. Player kills 6. I know one of them is Cone, which I killed on accident on a stream once. I think one is Bode, and I think the other 4 are all TDW. Yeah, going through here, I have a lot of blocks. I'm not going to go through all of these. One thing is this shield is the very first shield that I ever made on the server, and I managed to somehow keep it alive the whole time, which I don't know how I did that. So I've only ever crafted 3 shields. If you look at this, I don't know if you find shields somewhere on here. I've only ever crafted 3. One is this, yeah. One is the one I have. One is my backup gear, and I don't actually remember what the third one is. It's probably like on an armor stand or something somewhere. Mobs, 25,000 Enderman, obviously from the Enderman farm. But yeah, there's not that many interesting statistics here. But I think that'll probably be it for this season of the Farlander server. I'll see everybody on the next server, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.